There it is. The Island of Dawn. Now we'll see some action.
Patience, recruit. Whatever's on that island wiped out the first expedition. It's a graveyard for the arrogant.
Ha! A graveyard for anyone who dares to cross swords with me, maybe. Who's with me?
Count me in. On the day I heard about a mysterious island rising out of the sea, I dreamed I'd see it for myself.
Then you need more ambitious dreams, my friend. Mysterious island equals ancient treasures. Equals the perfect place for me.
By the Titans, that island is huge.
Enough chatter, recruits. Get down there and report for duty. For the Federation.
Hey guys, this is Michael, MasterM from Facetious Gaming, and today I'm going to be looking at Tera Online, a new MMO by Frogster, which recently had a sneak peek weekend, so I've got this footage. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right on into this. Now, the first thing you see is that
for the Federation,
there are two types of quests in this game. The red quests, red exclamation marks, where you turn into things like that, are story quests. Now that woman just gave me one. At the moment, in very early game, story quests seem to pertain to going from person A to person B. Now that usually takes you from one quest cap to the other. This guy here does give you a yellow quest, which is usually what happens. You'll turn in your red quest, get another red quest, and you'll get some yellow quests there. At this point, it's where you drive the story. Now, one thing that should be immediately obvious if you have been playing Tor is that quests here are done via quest text. You don't get the voice acting. You do get a few snippets of voice acting, usually in cutscenes like the one that you just saw, but you will be reading a fair amount of quest text in this game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. These guys are just giving me quests to go from one guy to the other, which really I'm not entirely certain about. I think it's trying to characterize all the different races, but I don't know. To me, it would just be simpler to send me to the end person, because literally they sent me to 3 guys to get my first proper hit things quest. With the subject of hitting things, I am actually playing a Berserker, which is pretty much your smashy class. You'll get a view of the combat pretty soon. And race-wise, I'm playing the A-Man. The A-Man is a sort of race with a kind of demonic look. They're very big, powerful guys. They're pretty much built for melee. But you know, you can play any. The way the races work in this game is they're not restricted to classes. You can play any race class combination you want. So you know, that's quite nice. It allows a little bit more freedom, which is always good.
feel the core's power.
Here is your first real quest giver. Once I'm done reading through the quest text, as you might be able to tell, I'm doing this post commentary, just so you guys know. Now she wants me to go and kill a bunch of trees because, hey, hell, in WoW it's fours, in this game it's trees.
Power.
So here we get to have a look at one of the things that's probably been publicized the most about Tera, short of the political system, which I'll get into in another video, the combat. Now, this game, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, can be played with a controller, and in fact I'm playing with a controller in this video. And it's very much different combat-wise from, say, World of Warcraft. Each class starts off with 2 abilities. If you're playing a controller, as you can see in the bottom of this map, 2A, which is basically your basic attack. That's your hit things with an axe, or cast a fireball, or swing your swords. That's just your basic attack. And then B is, for most classes, early on, either a heal, or an evade, or a block of some kind. The only real exception to that is the mage, but I'll get into that later on. Sorry, the sorcerer. As you can see, the combat feels really nice, I have to say. You get a lot of weight behind each sword. And that's not just with the Berserker. I've played each of the classes, and the Warrior feels really nice. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the range classes, but I was only able to play each class as the Berserker up to level 4, so, you know, they could get better later on. I just wasn't a fan of it. I like the idea of using the controller, and for the range classes, you want to aim with your mouse and keyboard, so controller's not really viable in that. Just love it. And the level up animation in this game is really, really nice. I much prefer it to World of Warcraft's or Tor's, which is the two games I'm probably going to be comparing this game to the most in this video. Just because it's the two MMOs I've played. Tor, I think, of the three has the worst level up animation. Just those little things coming up to light your head. Not great. But, no, I think that the animation for leveling up in this game is really beautiful. And if you have a look around, I think that kind of says a lot of the game as a whole. The game is very pretty. Extremely so. Now, I have to say that, unfortunately, that does kind of come at a price, in that this game kind of needs a not heavy-duty computer to run it, but, you know, you need half-decent computer. It's not going to run on your mom's computer. In fact, I'll link the description as to, you know, what kind of computer you're going to be needing in the description below this video. I was able to run it about 30 FPS, and I have a quite nice computer. My graphics card is about what they recommend. It's, you know, you get two stats. You got the required stats and the recommended stats. My graphics card, about what they recommend. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, but not so much that you'd notice. And I was getting a constant 30 FPS. That's even when I wasn't recording.
Power.
So,
Elves lead the way.
if you're expecting to run this on a computer
Feel
that's, say, 5-6 years old, you might be a little bit out of luck. Anything with integrated graphics, I'm reasonably certain will not run this. Which, I don't know, could be a problem for some people, and could actually be a problem for the developer. Because they kind of cut off a few guys of their market there. Just sort of showing off the character and completely missing the quest. Now, my quest at the moment is to kill some more trees, which I was actually kind of irritated at, and kill these guys. One thing I will point out in this game is when you are told to kill 3 bears for their asses, you get that loot immediately. Loot drops on the ground, similar to RuneScape actually, and then you just pick it up. But loot pertaining to a quest will immediately go into your inventory, which is kind of nice. I don't like the fact that they have you fighting trees twice, to be honest, because it's a matter of why can't I just pick up the claws when I was fighting them the first time. You saw there just a little bit of the inventory management. The inventory in this game isn't bad. I actually prefer it to ours just because everything is in one place. Like, you don't have to open up multiple bags, and you can expand it later on. There are certain merchants within the main city that will allow you to expand your inventory for a price. Here I'm just speeding up the video because it's grinding. I'll be doing this a lot for anything that is me grinding or going from place A to place B, because, let's face it, those are the really dull moments in MMO. They're not really important. They're just there to waste time. And that's kind of what it does. Now, as you can see there, I'm just mousing over my class ability, which is Last Aim and Standing. That's my active ability. What that does is make it so that I have reduced knockback and reduced slow. And here we get to the second camp.
Only a liar says.
Just handing in the quests. I love that level of animation.
Let me show you what I've got.
Oh, here we go. This is the this guy is a story quest guy, so I hand in my tree claws to him. Actually, I believe that's for a different quest. Yeah, the story quest is literally come to this camp, and now he'll send me to another camp. But first, I want to finish off all the quests here, because otherwise he becomes severely unleveled. That's basically the way it works. Is dude A will send you to dude B. There will be a bunch of quest givers around dude B. Dude B would send you to dude C, and so on and so forth.
You look relaxed.
This is your class trainer. Now, as you can see, I just picked up my new skill. You get skills to begin with, one at level 2, and then another one at level 4, and then
like any
I believe you get another one at level 6, and it goes on like that. Now, skills, it took a little bit getting used to where to put skills in this game for using the controller. you can't just map them directly to the controller. You do have to put them on hotbar, and then it will map to the corresponding button. It's not bad once you get used to it, but people might find it a little bit weird the first couple of times. Now, unfortunately, these quests are kill more trees. I'm not being funny. To begin with in this game, trees are essentially your boars. You will be killing a lot of trees. It's tree genocide. So I'll have to kill some trees. And
favors the prepared.
I'm also going to have to kill a bunch of mobs which are AoE, which is quite nice because it lets me show off the... You won't always be fighting mobs in one-on-one in this class. And that's a new ability I just got. It's a charged up attack with Cyclone, I believe. It's basically spin to win. As you get higher up in level, you'll spin more, and it's really nice for clearing out AoE mobs. See, as I attack one of these guys, they'll sort of like mill around and then aggro on me. And there you go. The more you charge up that spell, the more times you'll spin around, the more damage you'll do per spin, which is pretty nice. As you level up higher, though, for example, I got this character up to level 22, which is as high as the sneak peek went. At that point, the attack does actually start to hurt you, which isn't great. But it's really powerful. The Berserker is pretty strong at AoE melee. He wears heavy plate armor, but can't tank. You can't really tank with the Berserker. So far, the viable tanks in this game are the Warrior, who is a dodge tank, and the Lancer, who is a block tank. Now, the Lancer, the Berserker can block, but you can't block mid-swing, so you are very, very open to attack a lot as a Berserker, so you don't want to be tanking anything. You just will fall over. And you can't really hold aggro very well either. I mean, your block's handy, as you can see there, for killing very obviously telegraph attacks, but short of that, not really that handy, and you may as well just take some damage, because you are wearing plate. You're pretty resilient in a one-on-one situation, but against elite mobs, you don't want to be getting hit all that much. The reason I'm not speeding up this is because the way I'm going to be doing this is, if I get, say, a new ability, I won't speed up the combat that happens immediately after that, just for the sake of showing off the new ability, you know? Because some of them are pretty cool. The combat in this game is definitely a strong suit. It's much more involving than, say, with Warcraft, and I will be having level 1 to 4 videos on every race and class. So there will be a Warrior video, a Lancer video, and I'll give you a basic overview of their first 4 skills. Because unfortunately in the sneak peek, you could only really go up to level 4. Once you hit level 5, it would let you delete your character for 3 days. And when you consider that the sneak peek only had 2 servers, that meant that you could only have 2 characters if you got both of them up to level 5, which really didn't suit what I was trying to do here. So, you know, it's one of those I had to compromise. I wanted to get every class, and so I could only level them to level 4. Except for the Berserker, who I leveled to level 22. I do have a couple of clips of high-level combat, which is actually an instance. We don't actually beat the instance because it was about 7 AM at time of recording, and everybody was very tired. It was the last day of the sneak peek, so everybody was on for a while. Okay, just one quick thing I want to put out there. This is actually still in an alpha state, so this maybe isn't representative of the final product. It's just one of those, like, there's a few graphical glitches, not really much. I mean, hell, I still see graphical glitches at all. But, you know, it's one of those, they might get sorted out. Now, questing in this game, you might have noticed, is very, very similar to World of Warcraft, in that you go speak to a guy and he asks you to kill some stuff and pick up their loot. That's essentially, to begin with, the variation of the quest, and to be honest, it doesn't get that much varied as you go along, unfortunately. You do get, basically, at this point you have kill these guys quests, kill these guys and get something off their bodies quests, which are essentially one of the same because you get stuff automatically, so for all intents and purposes, they should be the same thing. And you also have escort quests, which are kind of annoying. You do get quite a few solo escort quests in this game. I mean, from level 1 to 20, I got about 5, I think. 5, 6. Now, you might say that's not too much, but when you consider I can remember for all the time I was playing World of Warcraft, I couldn't remember maybe 5, 6 off the top of my head. Like, you get a lot of them in this game, and they are very slow and not very enjoyable because the mobs are slow. Which is unfortunate. I just have to turn in my quest to this guy, and he'll give me my nice new axe, which, to be honest, isn't really worth it. It's like 1 point better in each thing. But, you get what you're given. And there's a slight amount of variation. Now, early on, you won't see a lot of variation in what weapons look like, which pretty similar to any other MMO. Oh, here we go. Now, this is something cool. It's the lucky eggs. Now, whenever you beat most quests, you'll get a lucky egg as a reward, and it just gives you, like, a little something for questing. As you can see there, I've got a little potion there. Despite the fact that I don't actually realise at the points that I have the potion, that just increases my MP. Which is actually something I should talk about with the Berserker. The Berserker runs off a rage type. The Berserker and the Slayer both run off, well, it's essentially rage. It's still cold MP in this, and it's different from World of Warcraft's rage in that you're not capped at 100. As you can see, I can have a maximum of 1022 rage, plus 250 because of the stamina system, which I'll talk about in a second. So, you can get pretty full rage in this, and the idea of the Berserker is that you smash things, scatter them, and the longer you fight, the stronger you get. Which is pretty cool. I like it. Berserker is, I don't know, one of my favourite classes. Personally, I think it's between the Warrior and the Berserker.
Let's fix that.
They're both pretty cool. So here I grab my other new skill, which is Flatten, which is a pretty nice thing. It's a non-charged attack, which basically knocks things to the ground. It does a fairly heavy amount of damage as well, which is, you know, always nice, and it has a high chance of knocking things to the ground. Now, when things on the ground, they're pretty vulnerable, because if something's on the ground, then it gives you time to charge Cyclone, which does a heavy amount of damage to both AoE targets and single targets. Against single targets I'd say it becomes slightly less viable as you get higher levels, because you do get things like Thunder Strike, which are much more powerful against single targets. Now, as you can see in this game, there are achievements. I don't think they really do much. I think they're rather similar to the World of Warcraft achievements, i.e. they're there, you can get them, don't expect much. I honestly think they'll work in a similar way. But, you know, you got the basic things, which honestly there's not really much going into. Here I believe I'm just sort of looking over the activities. So you got your crafting, which I think I do a quick video of later on. It's really not all that interesting. Enchanting, which I have a video on. And Battlegrounds, which unfortunately weren't in the sneak peek. PvP wasn't really in the sneak peek in a big way at all. There are 20-man death matches, which are pretty cool. The way that works is basically each side is a side of up to 10 guys. You put a stake on the match, and the winning team gets everything, which is pretty cool. I saw a few of them. Didn't get a chance to record them, unfortunately, because I wasn't high enough level to actually participate. They look pretty cool. I mean, having 20... It's basically a 20-man duel. Well, 10v10 duel. It's not a free-for-all. But it's pretty cool. Now, here we have another Red quest.
Great.
And this one is a little bit more interesting than most of the ones we've had so far. I'll let you see why in just a second. Any day now, Mikes. As you can see, just... If you read the quest tag, this take a while. Okay, we go.
Head west and look for piglings clustered around a stand of trees. Vekas the Wicked has a thing for piglings, I guess. Let him pick on something his own size. Or at least, something that's not a pig.
Yeah. The cutscene looks quite nice. I'm not a huge fan of the voice acting in this game. I don't know why, I just don't get it. Oh, here we go. Big fight. There you can see me using fire. Now, block doesn't block everything around you, it only blocks things coming straight ahead, which is why I didn't actually take any damage. It's not exactly a difficult fight, but it's more interesting than the stuff we've had so far. So now I just have to go turn that in. And I think that's it for this video. These little diary things will be going up to level 11, I believe. And I have, again, like I said, I got other stuff coming up, like the pet system, which is like a shop system, guilds, which is pretty cool actually. And you know what, a whole bunch of other stuff that hopefully you'll enjoy.
The Federation.
So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Please remember to thumbs up, link, and subscribe. And if you've got any constructive criticism, please leave it in the comment box. As you can see, we're fairly new to this. We've just sort of improved our setup and things like that, but we're really trying to have a go at this. So please leave any constructive criticism in the box below, and I will see you all next time. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Goodbye.